Hey there. Guess what? Your most burned out employee may not be the one complaining. They may be the one that's actually carrying your team. And when high performers quietly burn out, managers often lose thousands before they ever lose the employee. How you doing? I'm Dr. Cliff Freeman. I am a keynote speaker and consultant. I help managers create high-performing teams without burnout so everything doesn't depend on them. And in today's video, we're going to talk about why your best people burn out quietly. Let's get into this. All right, here we go. Today, listen, I want you to know that most leaders and most managers fail to realize that your team and that the magnitude of your team of not having a high performing team could lose you about $50,000 a year. As a matter of fact, a Gallup poll reported last year in 2025 that the average company loses about $50,000 in annual revenue or more when it comes to low productivity and, of course, low performance. And a lot of times managers don't realize that their most qualified or their top tier individuals, top tier athletes, if you're in the sports world, are really burning out. They're really carrying the team, but the burnout is not loud. It's a quiet burnout. And what I want to do today, I want to give you three quick things of how you can know, how you can identify if your top performers or if any of your team members are burning out. All right, three quick points, and then we're going to let you get on with the rest of your day or evening. All right, here we go. The first one, they all start with D. So if you're taking notes, write this down, please. The first one is distance. The first one is distance. This is when distance is what happens is they become less present, they become less relational. And the truth of the matter is, how you come in the office. I remember I would go into the office and we would all be there and we would all have a good time and we'd be talking and doing whatever we're doing, getting our work done. But when folks begin to get burned out, they begin to distance themselves from the rest of the team, from the rest of the group. They have less conversation, less collaboration, less connection. Not really focused on kind of just want to do the work and kind of just get in and get out. I know a lot of people are like that. I mean, you may be saying, well, Dr. Cliff, that's not everybody. You're absolutely right. It's not everybody. But a lot of times, this is one of the first things that your first signs that a manager can see when a top performer or any member of their team is beginning to be burned out. They will distance themselves. They won't be present relationally. Yes, they will come to work. Yes, they will be at their desk. Yes, they will do their job, but they won't be present relationally. You know how sometimes you have it's your team member's birthday party or something like that, depending on where you are in the world. You might be watching this in another country. I'm here in the US, and you maybe want to celebrate your team member's birthday. And so you bring in a cake or you bring in, I don't know, cupcakes or something like that. When folks get burned out, when folks are kind of just ready to just like, I'm sick of this, I'm sick and tired of this, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. When folks get to that place, they won't want to show up to that event. Even if it's not even an after work event, they just kind of, it kind of stated that they kind of might go in, they might go to you're having it in the break room or in the conference room. They might go into the conference room at the last minute, stand at the door in the doorway and kind of just, not really saying happy birthday or whatever it is that you do. They kind of just, they're there for a moment and then they turn around and they walk out. They're not really there relationally. They begin to distance themselves. That's one of the first signs that there is quiet burnout going on. Another thing, they begin to quietly quit so they don't show up to meetings. If it's in a virtual space, they may keep their camera off all the time and not even unmute to offer something to collaborate or something in the conversation or something to give so that you can move forward in accomplishing the projects you're attempting to accomplish. So the first thing that you can see, the first character trait, if you will, that you can recognize that someone is beginning or at the beginning stages of burnout is distance. All right, here we go. That's number one. Let's go with number two. Number two is the word drain. Drain. So they distance themselves and then they get drained, or they display that they are drained. What do I mean? Their energy and enthusiasm decline. Their energy and enthusiasm decline. They're excited about what you're doing. They're excited about what's happening. sorry, pardon me. They're excited about what's happening, excited about what's going on, excited about what's going on, and what the mission or what the task or what the role is. However, their energy begins to get depleted. Their enthusiasm begins to decline. When I was in the military, one thing they taught us in basic training, they would always say motivation is the key. Motivation is the key. So yes, these push-ups are going to be hard. This running is going to be hard. These lifting these wooden, I don't even know what they were, pieces of wood, whatever it was, lifting all of this stuff is going to be hard. However, if you're motivated, not only will you get through it, but you'll accomplish it well. Does that make sense? And so when folks get burned out or starting to get burned out, they'll their energy and their enthusiasm decline. It's like the job sucks the life out of them. It's like they're tired of this. I'm tired of this, right? They still produce, watch this, but the spark is beginning to fade. They still produce, but the spark is beginning to fade. I've been there. I've been at this place where I was just like, oh my gosh. I went to work at 7 in the morning, and by 7:45, I was just like, I'm done. I'm ready to go home, When can 4 o'clock get here? When can 5 o'clock or whatever time I was supposed to get off, get here? 8 to 4, I think is what it was. And I was like, I was just ready to go. I was burnt out. I was tired. I didn't want to be there. The environment wasn't that great. I didn't have great clarity, so I wouldn't own things. They couldn't trust me to take care of my job, and therefore we didn't execute. That's what I help, and I help managers get rid of that because it's there all the time. It's not something that comes and goes. It's there all the time. Okay. If you really look for it, you'll see it and you'll find it. So you have the distance, the distancing, then you have the draining. And then the last point I want to share with you is a decline, a just straight up decline. This is where performance, initiative, or consistency begins to shift and begins to shift in the wrong direction. Performance goes down, initiative goes down, consistency goes down. Um, things begin to go the wrong direction. They begin to go in the wrong way, not the way you want them to go. You want your team to make all the KPIs. You want your team to achieve customer greatness. You want your team to prosper in everything that they do, right? Well, when people begin to get burned out, they don't perform like they used to. I'm gonna use a sports reference. If you're familiar with American football, U.S. football, and I know people, you're watching this from the overseas, you may say football, U.S. we say soccer or whatever. But American football, there's a player on the Philadelphia Eagles named A.J. Brown. Well, he just got traded. By the time of this recording, he just got traded from the Eagles to the Patriots. And when he got to the Eagles, he was really, really excited. He and the quarterback were best of friends. There's a video of them FaceTiming each other and they're talking, they're excited about it. Hey man, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna do this. He came from Tennessee Titans, and then now he comes to the Eagles, and he's a great athlete, wonderful player, right? His performance was top tier. His performance was top tier. They win a Super Bowl, which is the championship. They beat everybody. They win all the games, or not, they don't go undefeated, but they win the championship. They win the Super Bowl, the biggest game of the season. But then after that, or during the season, people started to notice a decline. Not a decline in his ability, but a decline in his effort. Did you catch that? Not a decline in his ability, but a decline in his effort. And so his performance went down. And as a result of his performance going down, obviously he didn't get the ball as much, right? He didn't get targeted as much, and meaning the quarterback looking to throw him the ball. Okay. And so therefore his initiative began to decline. He was kind of showing up for the meetings, but he was there and physically, but he wasn't there mentally. And so then his consistency began to shift, and everybody began to notice it. Right, wrong, and different. This is what began to happen. There's even one game, he was on the field, on the sideline, reading a book. During the game, he was on the sideline reading a book. Why? Because he was burnt out. He was tired of it. He didn't want to be there anymore. And so his performance, his initiative, and his consistency began to shift and begin to decline. And they even lost in the first round of the playoffs to a lesser team. And I'm a 49er fan. I'm a San Francisco 49er fan. And the team I like beat the Eagles, but they had no business beating them. But there's one play where he kind of just quit on the play, didn't really catch the ball. It looked like, I'm not suggesting that he did. So AJ, if you're watching this, don't tell me. Don't come for me, right? But everybody thought that he gave up, right? That he didn't continue giving it his all. In the corporate world, the same thing takes place. In the church, the same thing takes place. Wherever you are, the same thing takes place. When folks are getting burned out, when folks are sick and tired of being sick and tired, they decline in their performance, initiative, consistency, or consistency, and they all begin to shift. Listen, watch this. Not always dramatically, but it's always noticeable. Okay. Not always dramatically, but it's definitely noticeably. People will definitely notice that you begin to decline. People notice when I begin to decline. These are three simple things managers, leaders, supervisors, COOs, CFOs. If you lead, I like to help leaders who have a team of five or more. Listen, if you want to know if your people are beginning to burn out and they're burning out quietly, they're your best, some of your best people, they're going to distance themselves, they're going to get drained, and they're going to decline. Listen, if you found this helpful, and want to build a high performing team without everything depending on you and you not burning out, something you can easily do. Start with the Connected Leader Masterclass. And if you like even help applying the principles to that, to your team, schedule a discovery call. The links for both of them are below in this video. Listen, but the next thing you can do, the next thing you can do, the most smartest thing you can do is grab a copy of the Connected Leader Masterclass. You will be glad that you did because it'll help you lead in the age of AI. All right. I'm Dr. Cliff Freeman. Remember this if you don't remember anything else. Teamwork. It's not talent, it's trust. I'll see you on the next video.